Hello, and thank you for clicking on the link to watch a short video kind of finishing off the Intuit Online Payroll job costing functionality. So you've set up your job costing in your preferences. You've also gone to your export preferences. You've chosen the your accounting software. You're going to use a Sync Manager because that's what Sync Manager is what we use to pull the items and the customers and the classes out of QuickBooks file into the Online Payroll app, and then it pushes the checks back with the appropriate jobs assigned, right? So, and I'll show you that on the timesheet because that's where you do it. Chosen your bank account, the wage accounts, reimbursement account, contractor payment accounts. Remember, I went over how you can use different accounts for different wages or groups of employees, classes, what you do with your tax accounts and liabilities. You have a lot of options here, even to have the print box flagged on the check when it ends up in QuickBooks, right? So once this is done and you have your job costing set up, okay? And of course you have the corresponding lists in QuickBooks, your service items, your customers, maybe even, not that you have to create an estimate, but I'm trying to do the full end-to-end here, right? I have an estimate. I basically have this estimated cost for this installation work, and I want to show the actual cost. This is what's going to come over from Intuit Online Payroll. That's my end game here, right? And see if I'm over or under, okay? So let me go back here, and I'm going to go to payday. Once that's set up, and I'm going to do employees pay every other Friday. Now, I have Steve Smith here. He's going to be doing some work for that job. And you might say, well, once you do the sync, and by the way, we have the Sync Manager. Let me remind you of that one more time. And you can watch the other longer video I have on this site on setting up the job costing. But the Sync Manager is what we use to push and pull from QuickBooks and IOP. Okay. So once that is set up and it's ready to go, I'm logged in with that. I'm going to click on the time sheet here to enter time for them, and it's going to load. And here I can add a row, and notice I have I'm going to do regular pay, and I have my customer and service item columns. So I click here and I choose the job, and I click here and I choose the installation, and I'm going to put, it was 40 hours, okay, we'll say, and I'm going to click OK. There we go. So I have 40 hours and a memo, and this is for, Steve's install work at job 1. And then I'm going to go ahead and create paychecks. Again, you can see all items or details of the check if you want. Create paychecks. And then I have to prove it. Let me just look at the details here real quick. Now, you're not going to see the customer or the job on this, but it will show up when it goes to QuickBooks based on the timesheet. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and approve it. But there's a detail of the check. Click approve, and then there it is. I'm going to skip the check number for now, continue, and continue again. Now, I can click the to do here, and you'll see I have some options to export transactions to QuickBooks using the Sync Manager. Now that is also a step in the create paychecks. I must have skipped that, so I skipped too many times. But here's the actual check that I want to go over to QuickBooks. Right? So I'm going to go ahead and click export. And it's going to be using the Sync Manager that I'm logged into to bring it in as a regular check into QuickBooks. So congratulations, we've successfully transmitted checks to your QuickBooks for Windows using the Sync Manager. Now there is the IAF format way or the one-click utility, but if you're doing the job costing, you would choose that option in your export preferences for the Sync Manager. So I'm going to click close and minimize this, and we'll go into the QuickBooks side of things. And if I go to my register, checking. Oh, right, one other thing. Let's leave that up and leave the report up. Thanks for reminding me, everybody. Now I'm going to do the sync. Now, this sync you can set to happen automatically, but it will show the check, and it's still waiting, right, up there in the cloud, waiting for me to bring it in. So this you can set up automatically under Options and Automatic Sync Options. I probably have it set to manual or every hour, okay? And now I'm going to click Sync now. Now watch the register, as it's going to pull down that check into the register written to Steve Smith, and then we'll look at that report, and I should see the cost there. Okay, so there's the check for Steve Smith written to the jobs right there, and then my report, estimates versus actuals, my cost.